Hello, welcome to part 35 of Grandad's Little Railway. You find me doing a little bit of painting. So I made a start on the scenery, obviously. What I will do, without any further ado, is to move the camera and I'll show you what I've been up to. So, as you can see, the pub scene has been improved just a little bit. I've got my benches out there now with some Metcalf brolly umbrellas up there. They was well fiddly to do. Right, moving along. So you notice some fencing and I've got some green stuff going on. Let me just zoom you out. So there are some green bits going on there, a little paddock. I'll probably put some horses in there or something. Not over keen on the green stuff that I put down, but it's going to have to do. It looks okay, it just seems to be like a little bit too much. So maybe I can paint in some muddy patches on it, I don't know yet, I'll think about that one. So moving down, I'm just going to reposition you again. You will see now that I started to do the landforming of the back of the layout, back of the station area. Just done the usual method, polystyrene sheets with some cardboard strips on and then plaster bandage on top. So I've just started going around the edges now, painting them, and I've gone right the way round. So, sorry about the colour changing now, but I tell you what, let me just change the battery on the camera, and maybe the camera light will come back on. Just hold on a sec. There you go. That's a little bit better. For some reason, when the battery gets low on my camera, the light turns itself off. Let's just zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit more, and I'll just shove you up a bit on the angle. That's it. Right, so yeah, I've carried it right the way along the back now, and I brought it round in front of my sidings there, look, right the way along now to about there. So yeah, I've got all that to paint now. That's my next step, and I say it's getting there. I painted the board grey as well, as you can see. That area there with the turntable, I think I'm going to put cork down there to raise it all up a little bit, in between the tracks as well, so that it all looks fairly level there, level with the track heads, if you like. Yeah, it's all beginning to look rather nice. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to carry on painting this in. For those of you who don't want to see it, the next bit you might want to skip it, because what I'll do, I'll set up a time lapse and with a little bit of funny music, and you can watch me do it. What I've also, while I'm here, is if you notice the colour, let me just move the camera again, sorry. Now it looks sort of, it's the cheap acrylic paint you get from Hobbycraft, and the way it's looking there actually looks like a forest floor. A forest floor is mainly sort of brown decaying leaves and dark brown mud, you know, almost black in places. So I'm thinking, all this is going to be covered in trees, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just leave it brown and see how we get on. Obviously there'll be some bushes coming down the front, but into the tarmac area, but I'm sort of liking the look of that, the brown there. Yeah, by the fence there, that's going to be like a dirt track going up to the going off in that direction, and there'll be a brown track coming along in front of that mud bank, if you like. Anyway, that's enough waffling. I'm going to get on and paint all this in, and I'll see you at the end of it, and I'll show you what I've done. So while I'm busy painting this, let me tell you what's coming up in the future video, because I've decided to make this layout DCC, and I bought a controller. It's a cheap one, a cheap select from Hornby. So if you want to see how I get on, please like and subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll tell you more about it when I've got my head around it. So as you can see, I've finished the painting now, and it does look really dark brown and, as I say, black in places. So I'm really quite pleased with that. Hold on. Of course, that, as you've seen, it goes right about along the back now. That's all looking rather good. You'll notice in the bottom now, I've extended that part of the greenery that I'd done right at the beginning of my layout, because that was obviously at the back. I brought it all forward, and I've put in a little extension piece to that. I've just finished painting it actually. It's not glued down yet, and you can see there's a bit of a path coming along now, and it ends there. So that path would basically come out into the car park. And I think when that's all got bushes on it and foliage and some trees, I haven't got a lot of room. It's only about an inch wide down on the bottom right hand corner. It's about an inch wide, so I haven't got a lot of room, but I'll put some trees on there, not too many, just some, and some bushes and some more trees on that bank, and that will help just blend in that where I put the coaching in the pub, being the path, the side of the paddock, just makes it make more sense, if you get my meaning. So I'll show you another bit that I've been working on now, which is this bit here in the corner, in front of the incline. Managed to put a little hillside in there, not too big, and that comes up to the end of this first board, roughly here. Okay, and you might be able to make out, I'll just reposition the camera, hold on. Yeah, so you might just be able to make out, I'll put some fencing, pico fencing in going along that edge, and around that gravel bit, and it goes right the way down towards the tunnel. Yeah, I'm looking for a water tower to go in that space there. I'm off to the Isle of Wight in a few days' time, so there's a model shop over there, and so I'll go and have a look in there, see if I can pick some stuff up. So yeah, it's all taking shape. I'm just going to move you again. So yeah, that's the end of my back scene and the end of my painted bit. And we come back to, excuse me, going back to a block of white polystyrene. I haven't done anything with that. I'm thinking, let me just move you back here and zoom you out a little bit. There you go, you're on the edge of the baseboard there. A piece of wood. There we go. I'm thinking about putting across here a road bridge. I've seen an interesting one on eBay actually. I haven't got round to ordering it yet. I'll probably leave it for a couple of weeks because I've got plenty to do. But yeah, if I put a road bridge in there and I can have a road coming down then to the sidings, that'll make that sort of make it, you know, a bit more sense. Maybe able to make a bit more sense out of it all, give it a purpose. So yeah, that's just a waiting game. I just got to wait for that. That's why that's like that. There's no point me even trying because I don't know how big the road bridge is and where it's going to sit yet. But so that'll be a future video. So it's all coming along, and I must admit I'm rather pleased. I'm getting a little bit impatient now to do the next bit of my layout on the corner and the roundy bit. I'm getting a bit impatient to do that, so I'll be looking into that in a few weeks' time. So, right, I'm going to crack on and do a little bit. And yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to take you into the turntable a minute. Right, I've sort of worked out where my tracks are going. They're going to go around this bit. Just the put short pico straights. You see, this line here is roughly where the end of the track will be. So I'll be able to get my road going in and around. So that's the plan anyway. And also what I want to do when the tracks are down, they'll be on cork anyway, but I want to build it up so that the ground is level with the top of the rails, if you know what I mean. I think that'll look quite interesting. Don't quite know how I'm going to do it yet, but we'll see on that one. Looking forward to the challenge. Right, I am going to get on and crack on with something else. Well, as you can probably tell, I'm quite happy with the way the layout is progressing. From my last video, I had a couple of comments about the turntable, and basically I was asking how it worked and why when it turned around it didn't short out. I'm going to try and explain my understanding of it, but I'm going to take you off now and I'm going to put you down towards the turntable. I'll show you down there, and after I've shown you how I believe it works, I will show you it actually working. So stick around. Right, here goes. I'll try and keep this as simple as possible. But basically what I've done here, this is my feed track, okay, to the turntable. Now on this rail, or this side, okay, that's my positive line, and this side is my negative line. So the train can come in and turn around and go back out again, but obviously on the table that line is still positive and that line is negative. Okay, so I'm basically going to turn it around. When it turns around, this line will be positive and this one will be negative, and this is what's causing the confusion. Because obviously as soon as the train comes off and the wheels go from that track to that track, it's going to cause a short. What people have done is this. You see this bit of paper here? I've done a very rough diagram. Okay, I'll just reposition you. Okay, and then I'll explain what's going on. Right. So what I've tried to recreate on the turntable, on this piece of paper, is what's happening beneath the well. Okay, so you've got this centre dot, which is the spindle, and you've got these two black lines either side of that spindle. Now underneath there is a brass, around a circular brass contact, which it's got two wires soldered to it, and they actually come back and join to this track here. Okay, so as I said, there's two. So you've got your positive and you've got your negative. They do not touch. Okay, obviously, because it will cause a short. So you've got that little break there and there. So and as the turntable goes around, it will come around. Say if it goes anti-clockwise. Okay, let me just zoom you out. So we're assuming this is going to go anti-clockwise. So that this rail here is going to come around to this first exit point. Okay, so that rail, when it lines up with this one, this track here, this line here, this side will be positive and that side will be negative. Okay, as it goes, and it will go around. Now because of that break in the copper, in the connections underneath the table there, that will be that will mean that as the table goes around, it would actually change the polarity. So when you wire it up, go back to this first one, this will be your positive and this will be your negative. Okay, when you go past that break, okay, it will be switched. So on these lines, that will be the negative and this will be the positive. Okay, so it's just switched over, and that's how it works, and that's how it doesn't cause a short. What it does mean though, especially for DCC users and those with that've got locos with sound, is from here to here. Okay, from there to there, it's dead. There's no electrical current going. It's going to be going to that location. Okay, and the same on the other side. There. Okay, because that'd be dead. So obviously, if you've got a loco and it's on the turntable and it's making the diesel sounds or choo-choo sounds or whatever, when it hits that sound will cut off, which is a bit of an inconvenience to those that use DCC. But in essence, that is it. It is dead simple, and that's how it works. So I hope that's just cleared a few things up. As I say, I had a few comments about it, and I'll try to explain how it worked in the messages as a reply, but it was just a little bit too winded. So I just thought I'd jump in here now and show you. As I've done now, I'm going to bring this little video to an end now. Okay, and I'm going to end with the turntable working. Right, let's get on with it. A little running session for you. Okay then, bye for now. Okay, as promised, a little running sequence to show the turntable actually working. Okay, here goes.